Hello, everyone, and welcome to Introduction to the New Testament. My name is Dr. Nathan Barnes. I'm from Lubbock, Texas, and I'm working now out of Fort Worth, Texas. I recently graduated from Texas Christian University Bright Divinity School with a PhD in New Testament and Early Christian Literature. I also have a master's degree in religion from Wayland and an undergraduate degree from Wayland, also in religion. So I've been studying this stuff for about 15 years now. My book on First Corinthians is coming out this year. When I say this year, I mean this school year. It might be in early 2014 when it comes out, but I'm going around in circles now with the editors, and they've had the book for 2 years. So I'm glad that's finally underway. Another thing going on in my life is my wife recently announced that we're going to have twins, and it's our first child. So other than our dog, we haven't taken care of anything like this. So I'm a little nervous about that. I have moments of nervousness and moments of euphoria. So I guess that a lot of people go through that. But I wanted to show you this course so there's no surprises whenever we start here in a couple days. This is the weekly assignments tab, and I have just week 1 posted. I have the rest of the course pretty much done through the midterm, and I just recently posted that. I have it to automatically become available to you on every Monday morning, so that way we don't get distracted and get too far ahead. The reason for that is we have ongoing discussions with classmates, and we need this fresh on your mind whenever we're talking about it. So anyway, you see right here, every week's course is designed pretty much exactly the same. I want to get you in a rhythm so that it becomes easier. You know, the amount of work is not going to go down significantly from week to week, but as you do these things a couple of times, they won't be so foreign, and you'll be able to complete them faster or more efficiently. So there are 6 components, as you can see here, to every week's assignments, and of course this is what it looks like. I have the video on top of the assignment description, and the first thing is a required reading. Usually we're going to have the required reading either out of the New Testament or Metzger or both. At no point are we going to be doing a reading review on anything other than Metzger and the New Testament. So you read this and listen to the lecture. While you're doing these two things, I want you to take personal notes. And I'm getting you a little bit ahead because I'm going to give you an outline. You just click on this Take Personal Notes link, and you'll see I have a Mac, so it's going to download. We go up to the top, and this is what the lecture notes look like. The whole point of the lecture notes, and you'll see I repeat the assignment here so you can have this little checklist. The whole point is to, as you're listening, I'm trying to hit enter here. As you're listening, take notes like this in between these points here. And oh great, it's not, my lists are turned off. You might want to turn off your automatic lists and bullet points, and that will make this a whole lot easier. And that means that when I hit enter, the B doesn't pop up where the B needs to be here. So anyway, that's what you need to do. Just take notes. You can double space this and print it out and write on it if you want to do it the old-fashioned way. What I would do though is just have this over here on the side, and then put the YouTube video over here on the right and just take notes. So these notes are everything. These are what my lecture is built on. I'm going to be going in exactly this order. This is an outline basically of Metzger. You know, I sat down with Metzger and in other readings and came up with this outline before I gave the lecture. I talk about this stuff, explain what Metzger is talking about, and also put in some other points of view. So this is very useful to you, and you can also use this, and you should also use this as a study guide for the midterm and the final exam. So this is basically the final exam and the midterm in a different form. I'm just going to be asking multiple choice questions or essay questions based on this outline. So that's a very important tool for you. Go back, and we're going to go back to that list here. This is week 1 again. You do notice we have reading in week 1 and also an assignment on the reading, which is number 3, the reading review. You complete the reading review as part of each week's assignment, and the link that I just clicked on from the assignment list, it takes us to where you turn in your reading review. You can either write it here, which makes it easier for me to grade, or you can send it as an attachment. You can browse your computer and say this is your reading review, and you just turn it in. That's nothing new to anybody watching this video. But the reading review is at least 350 words, and it spanned over 2 questions that you come up with. As you're reading, you're going to see things that interest you, that don't interest you. Some things may make you angry or confused, and you just write out a question. Why does Paul say such and such when I've heard such and such in church all the time? Why does Jesus drink wine whenever we've been taught not to drink wine? So, those are just basic generic examples, but you can see where I'm getting at. So as you're reading Metzger this week, you need to come up with 2 questions and spread those 350 words over those 2 questions, so it's about 175 each. I hope that's clear. I know it's a little confusing at first, but you're going to get the hang of it really quick. And this is a very, very important part of the assignments. Another equally important part is the discussion area. Number 4. What we've already done is we've watched the video, read the book, accessed the personal notes or the outline for notes that I gave you so you can take better notes over the lecture of New Testament history and backgrounds. That's this stuff. We've completed the reading review. Now you go to the discussion section of week 1, and I gave you a link there. Okay, these are questions that I've come up with, or discussion topics that I've come up with that relate to Metzger. And the first question is, why do you think so many early Christian writings were excluded from the New Testament? There are a lot of Christian writings, writings that were written about the same time as the New Testament that aren't included in the New Testament. And there are very clear reasons historically why that happens. So I want to discuss this with you. So you just click on this. You need to answer at least one question of mine, or you can come up with your own question. The thing is, you need to have at least 100 words in a primary post, what I'll call it. Your first post, you address a question that I asked. You can address more if you want to, but the basic thing you need to do is answer at least one question, or address a question, or come up with a question that's 100 words, big post. And then you're going to come back and answer or interact with, reply to 3 different students' posts. So there are 4 posts required each week. One is a longer post that addresses either my question or your own question. Long post, 100 words. And then 3 responses to student posts. Other people are going to be answering this question, and there needs to be just a little bit of back and forth. Talking about this stuff is very, very important because most people are not trained to talk about religion or religious topics, such as the New Testament. So we're going to practice that every week. And I know that every one of you can post four posts like this on Facebook in about a minute. So this is a little bit more in depth, but it's not difficult. So this is my question. I told you all this stuff already about the nature of the question, how there's a lot of New Testament, there's a lot of writings by Christians at the time the New Testament was written, but they're not included in the New Testament. So I'm asking you what you think. A lot of this course is focused on what you as a student think. I want to know what your informed opinion is, not just your opinion, but your opinion as it is informed by reading Metzger and the New Testament and by listening to the lectures. So I'm not interested in at all, ever, in the course. I'm never ever interested in students simply repeating what I say or students repeating what Metzger says. That's not what we're doing. What we are doing is reflecting on Metzger and reflecting on the lecture and reflecting on other resources that I give you, like the timelines, and talking about it. So we're going to learn a lot from each other this term. So once again, this is what it looks like. You're going to come to each week. This is week number 1 in the discussion area. And this is where you need to post 4 posts total. 1 long post that addresses one of my questions, or if you want to, you can create your own. 1 long post that's 100 words at least, and then 3 responses that are shorter that I don't really have a limit on that. You can do however short or however long you want, as long as it's not yes or no or I agree. You actually have to engage another person's point of view. So please don't, you're not going to get credit for those 1 word or even like 1 part of a line answers or posts. So 1 long one, 100 words, 3 responses to other students' posts. Easy, easy. Okay, and then I have here for number 4, go to the discussion area, select a question, and give your student response with a minimum of 100 words, which I've said a couple times, in a single post. And then you come back and thoughtfully respond to at least 3 classmates' postings. Now about that, what happens in a lot of classes that I've taught, most students will post on Sunday night. Everything is due every Sunday evening. This 8:25 is a Sunday down here. All assignments for week 1 are due by 8:25. You have a week to do these 6 things. If everybody posts on Sunday night, you're going to have a hard time finding 3 students to interact with. So I encourage you to start working on this particular part of the assignment on Wednesday. So there's time for people to respond to the posts. I haven't figured out a way yet to get everybody on the same page with this, which is why you have week. But I don't think it's a coincidence that everybody waits till Sunday night. But I can't help that. But I do want to encourage you to post earlier, at least that first post that's longer. That way, other students can get this assignment done a little more quickly, and they can talk about it while it's on their minds. And then the last thing you do is the blog. You're going to complete blog entry number 1. Now the blog's the easiest part of the course. The thing that you do is you just click on create blog entry, make sure you're on the right week, create blog entry, and then give it a little title. This is just an entry. And then you write at least about 100 words about what you've learned in the course so far. And you can write anything you want to as long as it addresses some part of the course. So this has produced, I think, some of the best posts in the course, in previous courses that I've taught. But students don't normally respond to, and I don't think a lot of students read the blogs. But if you do read other students' blogs, you're going to have a rich experience in this course because the blog entries are usually pretty phenomenal. So I want to encourage you to take advantage of this. It's yours, and read each other's blogs and comment on them. So that was all 6. I'm going to go over it one more time. It's in the weekly assignments thing. I tried to make this as easy as possible by posting the video and links to every section, because we have to use different parts of Blackboard in order to accomplish this. So I have links to all of them, and all of the links should be live. Like, I'll just scroll down to week 2, and all the links are there. And another thing that I do, I just forgot to mention, I post the URL for the YouTube because not a lot of people can see, or not everyone can see this embedded YouTube video. So you can just copy and paste that into your browser. I have it listed here underneath the video most of the time. So I apologize for the differences there. It has to do with HTML stuff. But that's that. This is not completely foreign to you. I know that the reading review trips people up at the beginning. If you watch the video on the reading review and you look at the samples, you're going to do fine. I have on the left here these links. I have the weekly assignments on top, and then I have lecture notes, weekly blog, and discussion board. Now that should sound familiar to you. That's what we were linking to. So let's look at the lecture notes. I collected them all in one spot. So if you get to the time when it's time to study for the midterm, like week 4 and 5, week 5 is the midterm, and you need to study, you can download and print out all of these previous weeks worth of notes if you don't have them already, so you can study for the midterm. And then the weekly blog, all the blogs are collected on one page, week 1, 2, 3, and so on. And you can go back from, like, say you're on week 3 and you remember something awesome somebody said in week 1. You can just go up to week 1, find the blog. It's just easy navigation for you. And then reading reviews. This is every reading review, and plus the instructions, so you definitely need to watch this video, please. You don't want to be doing this wrong. And then the reading review samples is a PDF. It's just one sample or two of how to do a good reading review. And then these are all the places where you could turn them in. If you don't want to turn them in on the link that I gave you that takes you directly to it, you can also access all of these reading reviews or reading review places to turn in right here. A ton of them. So it's redundant. These things are redundant, but I gave it to you in 2 different places because I want you to access it the way that's easiest for you. And I want you to notice these 2 links. First of all, are study tips. A lot of people are frustrated with Metzger whenever we first start. I want you to familiarize yourself with this stuff. It'll help you not only for this class but other classes. Basically, this is how to read stuff that you don't like, or how do you read stuff that's confusing. So that's that. And then I have a video about it, just telling you how to read if you don't know how to read yet. If you get stuck every time you read Metzger, this will help you get unstuck. So that's there. Also, Becoming a Better Student series. This is a wonderful series by Dr. Ray. I've watched all of these. I think they're very, very helpful. They help me teach. They also helped me whenever I first started my all my major degrees. When I started my associate's degree and bachelor's, I came back to this and learned how to learn again. This is basically the same thing, Long Beach City College series. Taking notes, improving listening skills, yada yada. This is actually, I believe, a college course. So if you notice the duration, this is 45 minutes, which is a long time. This is 10 minutes, which is a lot more tolerable. But if you really want to learn how to do this better, I recommend that you watch these longer videos, and you can just skip over stuff you don't like. But as you can see, there's hours of stuff, like 6 hours worth of lectures. And then this is the same thing that appears above, so I'll take that out. But again, this is the study tips section. It talks about how to read Metzger because he's a little difficult at first. Midterm preview. This is not your midterm. See, right here. This is not your midterm. But I have an unusual midterm, I think. And so you need to familiarize yourself with what's expected on the midterm. It's not difficult. I mean, it's not like it's something that comes from Mars, you know, but it is something that trips people up sometimes. But I've had some really good midterms come in. So I have these. This is a video of my spring course for 2013 spring. I explain to you what's expected on the midterm, and I show you in detail every little part of the midterm, so that way you won't have any questions whenever you get to it. And this is what the midterm looks like. I mean, it's a little unusual. It's not multiple guess. It's an essay-based midterm. I'm just going to take you through week 1. I divided up all the questions according to weeks. Weeks 1 through 5 are on the midterm. And what you do is you watch a video on YouTube, the History Channel's Secrets of the Apostles, and evaluate this video based on what you learned in class. So I'm interested in your informed opinion, and we're going to focus that informed opinion on this video. You know, as a scholar and as a minister, most of the questions I get anywhere is from these, I almost said silly, but these History Channel videos on the Bible. This is where people talk to me. They say, "Oh, I watched a video on the New Testament. What do you think?" And I'll tell them if I've seen it, and if not, I'll tell them what I think. So this is the kind of context that you're going to express your informed opinion in. That is, you know, somebody may hear you're taking a New Testament course, they see a video online or a video on the History Channel, they're interested in your point of view, they're going to ask you a question. So this is a real-world application of what you're learning based on experiences that probably happened to you. So you watch this video. I provide the URL here. You can see that. Well, I can't highlight it right here. And then you're going to address 3 questions from below. And you see the questions here. They're not numbered. I couldn't do that because of the list. It was just going wacky. So there are several questions to choose from. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 questions. You choose from 3. And the total word count that you need to have is at least 500 words between those 3 questions. And so what I did, just as a guide, I put the minimum word amounts on every question. So to get 500, you only technically need to answer 2 questions here. I don't want you to write 500 words on one question. That's why I have these kind of divvied out. I don't think you can answer this question here in less than 250 words. I mean, if you think you can try it, but I don't think it's possible, especially if you are answering the question properly, and that's in the video on this particular thing. So it looks harder than it really is. You know, and I would encourage you to read the questions before you watch the video so you can be thinking about this stuff while they're talking. Now, this is an essay-based exam. You know, you don't write just 3 words here. You know, you actually have to write a couple of sentences to get to the minimum word requirement. So I'm going to give you this midterm a few days before week 5. And you'll have about 8 days or so, depending on how the weekend goes. But you have 8 days to complete this exam. You can use any book, website, resource, dictionary anything that you want as long as you don't copy from it. A lot of students have copied from my notes or copied from the book or even copied from the Bible. This isn't a time where you just take another book and just write what the book says. This is a time when you're giving me your informed opinion, because the whole point of all this is that you talk intelligently, or you're able to talk intelligently with someone about the New Testament. So everything in this course is focused on that goal. I believe that's it. I just want to show you a few more things here. Timelines for midterm. These are video lectures and PDFs of what we're talking about. You need to know like the order of things, how things happened in the ancient world in order to understand what we're reading in the New Testament. So I have a few timelines, different kinds of timelines here. And then there are two at the bottom that don't have videos. I figured by this time you can read it on your own. But you need to familiarize yourself with these timelines for the midterm. So, let's see, YouTube videos. These are extras. Yeah, I have it right there, extras. Really cool stuff. This is a video on Ephesus, which is a city that Paul visited. And we have excavation reports, we have pictures, we have all kinds of information on this city. And I take you through a lot of pictures of Ephesus, and it's really cool, really cool. This is a video that you should watch. It is more on patronage and friendship. Patronage and friendship are very, very important for the economy and social structure of Jerusalem and of Rome in the time that the New Testament was written. This is what people had to do in order to survive. So you should definitely watch this video. I do in one of my lectures, this is week 6, I guess in week 6 I addressed this, and I've had a lot of questions on it, so I did another lecture specifically on it and got into more detail. And this is an explanation. So that's it. There's only 2. And this is where I'll put videos if I have to do an extra lecture or an extra response to something that's going on, discussions or the reading reviews. I'll make a short YouTube video and post it here, and I'll give an announcement about it. Now I'm just looking here on the side. Talked about a lot of stuff, videos. This is a Wayland library where you can access a lot of resources. Itty Bitty Wiki is exactly what it sounds like. It is an itty bitty wiki. There's only 3 entries, but these are entries that students have asked questions on this and have also, for example, written very, very bad and incorrect posts and reading reviews and all kinds of stuff. People just misunderstand sometimes. So I write a little bit or maybe do a YouTube video on these topics. I mean, it's just really short. The early Christian persecution doesn't even have anything in it. So I'll need to look at that whenever I look at that before the course starts. There should be something in there. But I'm going to try and grow this semester, but I really haven't seen a need to yet. Okay, student feedback. I'm always interested in what you have to say. This is a have you read the New Testament before? You'll see this first day class. It's a survey of just a couple of questions about whether or not you've read the New Testament before. Okay, my lovely wife interrupted me, but hopefully I paused it. Anyway, this is student feedback area. I really want to know how your experience is going in the course. So if you can't see something, if you can't access something, if you have a question about the homework or a question about my lecture, whatever, you can contact me 2 ways. One is student feedback, and the other one is an any questions link that I'm going to start here in a second. you're going to see right below student feedback, there's going to be an any questions link. And the any questions area is, you know how whenever you're in a real classroom and the professor is talking and you have a question immediately and you want to ask a question and you have this little dialogue sometimes. I loved that about my educational experience. Can't really do that here because we have all this static material, this static YouTube video where you don't really interact. Well, and you also are able to talk to the professor before class and after class and during the breaks. That's what the any questions area is for. And also you can do it in student feedback as well. Student feedback is intended more for issues with the course, and not questions on content, if that makes any sense. I separate those two because I can focus on where the question's coming from a little bit more quickly. So I welcome student feedback at any time. You can also email me. But anytime you have something to say to me, I want to make myself as accessible as possible to you. I have these 2 links here. They're intended for that. You have my email address from the syllabus, and you're going to see my email address in the announcements as well. So I am very available to you. I do not want you to have any question that's unanswered. If there's any way I can help you and help you have a better experience in the course, I will do whatever I can to make that happen. So anyway, that's an introduction to the course. Please don't hesitate to contact me if you have questions. And I know this video is very, very long, but it's going to enhance your experience in this course. Thank you so much, and I look forward to hearing from you in the Introduce Yourself section.